The only one here to hear my stories is my own great-grandchildren. Isn't that not? They've never heard this story before. Do you remember when I told you, Allie, before when the angel picked us up when we lived up in the mountains? Well, this story is in the same place. We lived up in the mountains. Still, can you sit right there? No, I know you would like to join me. I know that. And something special happened to me as a little girl. It was sad to begin with. My mama and my daddy were no longer together. Allie, look at me because I need you to talk to, okay? And I didn't get to see my daddy, and I got really, really sad. So I would cry a lot. And one time my mama said, I'll tell you what, long time ago your daddy gave me a necklace. It was a little booklet, and it had flowers on the outside, and you pushed a button and you opened it up, and inside was my daddy's picture. And she said, if you promise me not to ever wear it, just put it under your pillow and keep it there, then I will let you have it so you can see the picture of your daddy. I was so thrilled. And my mother gave me that cute little locket, and I put it under my pillow, and every night before I went to bed, I would take it and open it up and look at it and see my daddy's picture. I was such a good little girl. I was not going to wear it because my mother said not to wear it. But you know what? I got naughty. And I had a girlfriend at school, and she needed to see my locket. And I was so excited. I thought, maybe if I just put my locket on underneath my sweater, my mama wouldn't see, nobody would know, and I would take it and show it to my girlfriend. So that's what I did. And I took off for school. I forgot to tell you, I had to walk 4 miles to school, down the mountain, across all different paths that my grandpa had made, lots of bushes, lots of dirt. Yeah. Yes, that's right. And so I put it on, and my mother didn't see, and I went to school, and when I got to the schoolyard, I remember taking off, running across the schoolyard to show my girlfriend that, and I'm reaching in underneath my sweater to get it, and I don't feel it. I don't feel it anywhere. And I stop, and I look down, and I shake my clothes. I'm trying to find it. I couldn't possibly have lost it in 4 miles. I'll never find it in this mountain. I'll never find it. And so I looked, and my girlfriend came, and I said, I've lost my locket. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I went into school, and I sat down at my desk, and I said, Dear Jesus, I am so sorry I did that. That was so naughty of me. Oh, can you please find my locket for me, Jesus? And I felt bad all day, and we got out of school early because we had so far to go. So I got out of school early, and we started walking, and I hunted. I looked on every bush. I looked on the ground. I looked everywhere to find my locket. All the way home, I looked and I looked. No locket. I felt so bad. And I had to tell my mama that night what I'd done. My mama was always so nice to me. She just said, I'm sorry, Gail. The next day when I went to school, I looked everywhere for that locket, all the way to school, on every bush, every tree, every path. I looked and looked. No locket. No locket. I went home that night, no locket. And I lived in a log cabin, and I had a tin roof. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and you know what I could hear on that tin roof? Rain. Rain. My locket was out there in that rain. I was never going to find my locket. And it rained that day. It rained the next day. And I knew I had just gave up. God was going to just let me because I had disobeyed. Then the third day, the sun came out, and I was walking home from school. And some car, I don't know if cars never drove up our road because we live so far out, but it was all dirt, worse than the dirt we live on now. And it had been muddy, and there was ruts where the cars go. Ruts, you know how a car makes a rut? Well, this is what I'm doing. I have nothing else to do. I can't find my locket. It's lost. And I'm walking in the ruts, trying to keep my feet in the ruts. And all of a sudden, right beside a muddy rut was my locket. My locket was just laying there. All the mud was around it, and I picked it up. There wasn't any mud on my locket. There wasn't any water on my locket. And I opened it up. It opened up fine. God had taken his hand and kept my locket in it so that it never got wet. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you my locket. And my locket is 75 years old, and it still works. But, Allie, you're going to have to come hold this. I can't get it out of my pocket. Hold this.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's right there.
It's right there. Do you see the pretty flowers?
Yes.
Be real careful and push the little button. You see it? Look at there. And there's a picture of my daddy and my mother in there. Isn't God good? I have an antique locket. And because this is antique, it's very old, dearie. Isn't God good to do those things and answer prayers? I think so. You want to pray and tell God how thankful we are that he took care of my locket.
Dear Jesus, thank you for this day. And thank you for this day. And can you answer everyone's prayer and make sure my great-grandma doesn't lose her locket again. In your name, amen.
Amen. And God's going to do things for you, Allie, while you're growing up. And he'll do things for everybody in this audience. Miracles happen all the time.